Hey, Prashanth, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. Thank you for supporting me through the program. It's been a very educational experience, and I it's been about a couple of months since I joined my role. So
Yeah,
happy to share my experience with you in this
love it.
graduation call.
So since you mentioned your new role, tell us where you are right now, and maybe give us some background before this new awesome role. What you were up to?
Yeah, my story might be a little bit different from some of the folks that have already been through the program. I actually started a role about 4 months ago, and 2 months, almost a month or so into it, a new opportunity came along that was cooking but wasn't maturing. And then I ended up switching from that first role about 2 months into it, into this current role that I'm in, which is almost a month and a half, 2 months into it.
Yeah.
So the first role that I had accepted was at a company called Netra Dine, which is a San Diego based computer vision and AI startup.
Yeah.
And then subsequently, I moved over to a product role at Salesforce, which deals with the customer success score, essentially evaluating our customers' Salesforce implementations and suggesting recommendations on how they can improve that and derive greater value out of their Salesforce purchases.
It's awesome. Congrats on both roles, and great to see you succeed.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Awesome. So Prashant, since so that people can get to know you, give us like a 30-second career snapshot. Like, what were you doing prior to intentional job search?
Prior to that, my journey into product management I would say, took the typical route. After grad school in engineering, I started in software engineering and went through Qualcomm, then Ericsson, and again back to Qualcomm for about 10 to 15 years. And while there, I went to grad school and switched over to a technical marketing role, which
Mm.
was more of a technical marketing and business development role. And subsequently, I moved over to product management mostly at Teradata for about 8 years. And it was mostly a platform product management role. And I've been in platform roles throughout my career, initially in engineering and then subsequently in product management. And the way I landed at IJS was my role at Teradata was eliminated as part of a fairly large reorg, and I got laid off as well. And initially, I tried to make a go of it on previous instances when I was in a job search. I was fairly successful fairly easily. But then this time around, even though I was landing initial interviews and sometimes even got past those and through hiring manager interviews as well, sometimes I was finding that I wasn't making progress beyond the first or second round of interviews. And that's when I realized that this job market was quite a bit different from the previous instances that I had been in a job search, and felt the need that I may have blind spots and need for help. And that's when I came across the IJS program. And after looking into it a little bit more, I certainly had apprehensions, which I can talk about later.
Mhm.
Uh, I did finally enroll into it and was in the program for upwards of a year, almost 18 months before I actually landed into my current roles.
Yeah. First of all, thank you for sharing that. And many times I hear this now, like this job market is different. It's tougher. It's more selective, more competitive. Tell me more. What prompted you to look for something? But like when you spoke with us, what were those apprehensions that you had?
So, first of all, in previous instances when I had gotten laid off, there was the placement agencies that were part of the layoff package.
Yeah.
Those programs were adequate to help me support through the job search, and I expected that a similar situation would continue here as well. One of the things that I realized after having been through the IGS program was that the IGS program is specifically meant for product managers, whereas those placement programs that were part of the layoff package were fairly generic for all kinds of roles. Understanding the nuances of how a product management recruitment process actually goes through and being able to support in those specific phases from the point of view of product management, a product manager or a product management manager. Those issues, those specific points are, I would say, something that differentiate the IJS program from other generic job search programs that might exist. Now, the apprehensions that I had were that the initial the programs I'm talking about initially, they were part of the layoff package and did not incur any expense on my part. But the IJS program had a fairly large sticker price, which gives one pause. In retrospect, it is value that it delivers the value that the program promises. But when the person who is currently in the job market because they are looking for a role and come across a program that costs as much as this program does, it does give one pause. So that is something that was initially holding me back. But having been in the job market for a couple of months and not finding much success, I was able to overcome that initial hesitation and then get into the program. And then later did see that the program justifies the price.
I'm gonna like just dig in one more piece.
Yeah.
So during this time where you're like considering, like what are maybe some of the things you did that helped you finally make that decision?
So I did look into some of your videos on YouTube and on the website. And that really was most of it. And then I took that leap of faith.
So you joined the program, you start your first few weeks. What were some things that, like any big aha moments early on, any surprises?
So the first one was the structured approach that's taken to actually coming up with a team. And that is something, and getting the person to have confidence in being able to deliver that team in a conversational, convincing, and confident manner.
And for folks,
The process.
TMA is tell me about yourself.
Exactly. Which is exactly. So, which essentially refocuses however they were presenting themselves earlier to a much more concise, to the point introduction about your most immediate and accomplished, immediate and most valuable professional accomplishments in the recent past, accompanied by a couple of conversation openers that can help direct the conversation in the direction of your most prominent accomplishments in your professional career. A couple of your primary stories. So that structured approach and being able to help the candidate come up with those, that's the part that was my first aha moment about how this program is different from try to do this by yourself.
Yeah, love it. Tell me more. So like as you went along, what were like some of the things that you found helpful in your search?
So as I was going along, the interviews were happening as well. And there was a range of different ways forms that these interviews took. Most of them were behavioral, but several of them had presentations and case studies that had to be prepared and presented. A couple of them had presentations that required me to present one or two of the most prominent or most important products or features that I had worked on. And being able to prepare a presentation of that, essentially it was a slide deck version of your story number one. And being able to have a document, have that information in a document versus having it in something that's a much more visual medium. There is a bridge there that the interview coaches and the coaches and the presentation coaches at IJS were able to help me accomplish. And that effort, I would say, is one of the things that you should probably make a requirement for most candidates, because I've found that one presentation I use at least 5 or 6 different times. And even if it wasn't specifically that presentation, that template helped me create similar presentations for product design, for case studies as well. That simple exercise was, I wouldn't call it simple, but that exercise of having to create that presentation helped me create the presentations for the case studies as well, which was another form of presentational panel interviews that I did end up going through a few times. That was one. The other one, of course, was the consultation sessions that I was able to work with coaches for preparing these presentations, specifically the case studies, to ensure that I had adequate coverage for all the different items that was being asked for in the case study, and also what was to read between the lines and extend and mention in those presentations things that were not specifically asked for, but would likely be expected. So that was something that the coaches helped as well.
Love it. Tell us now, Prashanth, about the story of you landing this role at Salesforce.
One of the things that drew me to that I was able to understand as a strong point of the IJS program was the large network of students and alumni that you have, and of course your own professional network that I was able to leverage to connect with people whose companies had opportunities that matched my profile. And that sort of reinforced that aspect that blind applications have significantly lower success rate. And that's essentially how this current role came about as well. So it happened that one of my very close friends was actually at Salesforce and is the hiring manager, is my current manager. And I was in touch with him for a fairly long time. And when a role opened up in his team, that's when he reached out to me and let me know about this and helped me prepare for it as well. And that's how this role came about. That's not to say that that is the same situation everybody will encounter, but it reinforces the rule that referrals and strong referrals a significantly higher chance of success. My previous role as well, the one that I left a couple of months in, came about through a similar personal connection as well. I came across a role that was posted on some of the job boards. And then I reached out to a friend of mine who was friends with an executive at that company. So I got my resume through that referral to the hiring manager, which then materialized into initial interviews and subsequently a presentation panel and essentially a final interview with the CTO as well. So those two came about that way. There were some others that came through, some other interviews that came through recruiter reach outs, which improved after my LinkedIn profile became more a reflection of my P-based tell me about yourself stories and the resume that resulted out of the resume sessions with the IJS coaches.
So I want to emphasize that point, especially the last one that you made. It's like a compounding effect, in the sense that sometimes people say, hey, I am reaching out to people, I'm doing this, but what's the messaging? And then what do they immediately see about you? And if like the first impression that they get is not strong, you don't have a strong TMAY, like your core pitch, or a strong LinkedIn, your response rate will be lower with the same message. And I think like everything built on top of each other for you.
Most certainly. I did come very close to a couple of roles. In fact, I had a verbal offer, almost a verbal offer about a year ago. And but then due to some budgeting issues, that role got put in cold storage. Even that role came through referrals that got my resume across to the hiring manager and a word from my referral to the hiring manager.
Yeah.
So it certainly matters. And one of the things that I learned through the program was to essentially provide some text to your referrer so
Yeah.
that they can include it in the when they reach out to the hiring manager. That helps as well.
Yeah. I agree. Okay. Love it. Thank you for sharing the story of landing your role. I'm going to ask you just a couple more questions, Prashant. When you, like, just in your words, what is intentional product manager or intentional job search?
It is actually many things. I would say, first and foremost, it's professional help from actual product managers who aren't just product managers, but who have been in the job search space, either because of their own job searches or because they've been supporting product managers who've been in a job search. I was a product manager for 7 or 8 years, but my previous job searches were not really as challenging. And that that did not prepare me for how tough this particular job market could be. So having those accomplished PMs know the job search market, that's one thing. Another thing is that it is a support group, a community. Job search can be extremely lonely, that journey, if it extends beyond a couple of few months. So retaining your sanity through all those rejections can be a huge challenge. And the community aspect of it can come in handy. And that is one thing I would say, if there is some way that the IGS program can improve upon that, I don't know how, but if it can be, then that can help people retain their sanity. Another thing is a group of interview coaches and resume coaches and coaches that can help you prepare for whatever that next stage of the interview is. And another thing is the set of product design coaches that run these workshops and evaluate your product design submissions. Because I ended up using some flavors of that in my case study interview panel sessions as well. Some steps were less relevant than others, but the general format that it followed was quite similar. Another thing it is eventually a coaches that can help you through your compensation negotiation. It's a collection of these things. So
Yeah.
summarizing it in one sentence is not would not be fair, I would say.
That's totally fine. I'd love to hear like the description of these things that you highlighted. And then last but not least, like, as somebody who's, somebody watching this video is probably somebody who's considering whether they should book a call with us, whether they should join us. What advice would you have for them?
So I would say they should definitely book the call with you. No questions about it. And one can understand that when you're in the job search mode, you'll have folks approaching you from all sides, often to help you through your job search. And being able to differentiate between ones that actually can help you versus ones that are of questionable value,
Yeah.
that is a bit of a challenge. And
Yeah.
the number of testimonials that are available, not just from the people who are offering the program, but from people that have been through the program,
Yeah.
that can certainly help. And the availability of such testimonials on YouTube or on the site, and how genuine they seem, those would be the ones that I would use to help decide which program to get into.
I think that's what I send people to now. I'm like, just we so many of these. Spend time watching this, and that convinces you. Great. If it doesn't, it's okay. But like, it's ultimately what people say about you is more important than what you say about yourself. And like, find folks like you talking about IJS is the more important thing than me trying to say something. Thank you, Prashant, for taking the time of sharing your genuine experience with everyone. It means a lot to me that you took the time to do that.
I certainly appreciate it. I mean, many people unexpectedly have been of help, and I'm happy to give back.